The Education Network presents The Academic Challenge, hosted by Rick Blackwell.
Hi everyone, host Rick Blackwell here at the Education Network. I would like to welcome everyone back to the 2016 Palm Beach County Academic Challenge. It's day 3 of competition and our final day to determine the last 2 teams that will make it to the district finals. This year we celebrate the 31st anniversary of the Academic Team Challenge in the school district. The Education Network is proud once again to present this year's competition. We have 15 Palm Beach County high schools competing this year. 3 days of competition to determine 6 teams that will qualify for a spot at this year's district finals. The format consists of 6 rounds over 2 sessions each day, with 5 schools competing each day. Let's check in with a few of the schools to see what motivates them and how they prepared for this year's challenge.
So a lot of times we've been going to the physics classroom, and during lunch we've been prepping, and we did a mock competition against other kids in our class, and so that we just get a feel for what it's going to be like, so that we're not freaking out on the day of.
This whole week I've been excited to come here because I've never been to this. This is my first time, and it being my senior year, I mean, it's just a great experience to, finish it off.
Personally, I've always liked looking for new things to learn, at least one thing every day. I feel like it'll improve you as a person, and if you like reading and you like learning, those are 2 good factors to incorporate into your life to make you more intelligent.
Sounds like they are well prepared. I'll be checking back with you at the end of each session to see where the schools stand in scoring and to announce who will be moving on to the district final round. Each team is comprised of 4 students, and they can substitute alternates after each round. Let's take a look at the schools who will be participating in this final day of preliminary competition. A.W. Dreyfoos School of the Arts, Atlantic High School, Jupiter High School, Royal Palm Beach High School, Pahokee High School. Well, it looks like the teams are in place and ready to get started here on day 3 and the first 3 rounds. Let's get things started with our longtime moderator, Yetta Green, over in Studio A. Yetta?
Thanks, Rick. Question. Provide the last 3 words missing from the following quotation from a Robert Frost poem. And he likes having thought of it so well, he says again, good fences.
Team 2, Atlantic High.
Make good neighbors.
Make good neighbors, that is correct. Question. To the nearest 1/10 of a percent, determine what interest rate you must acquire to double your investment of $500 in 15 years, given that interest is compounded continuously.
Team 1, Dreyfoos.
What is 4.6%?
That is correct, 4.6%. Question. To 2 significant digits, determine in joules the kinetic energy of a 1,500 kilogram car having a velocity of 3.5 meters per second.
Team 2, Atlantic High.
9,200 joules.
9,200 joules is correct. Question. Which one of the following 4 pitches is enharmonic with F? 1, A double flat, 2, E sharp, 3, G flat, 4, D double sharp.
Team 1, Dreyfoos.
What is E sharp?
E sharp is correct. And you have to be certain you tell us which language you're giving the answer for. The question is, what is the title of the poem on the handout?
Team 5, Pahokee.
I believe it's La Guitarra in
That
Spanish.
is correct. Question. Identify the amendment to the U.S. Constitution that gave Congress the power to levy the income tax.
Team 4, Royal Palm Beach.
The 16th Amendment?
That is correct, the 16th Amendment. At this time, you can open it. I'm going to read the question. So open it, remove the one art reproduction, The question is, everybody got it open? Question is, identify the artist of the work.
Team 2, Atlantic.
Raphael.
Raphael is correct. Question, determine the oxidation number of the carbon atom in the carbonate ion.
Team 2, Atlantic.
+4.
+4 is correct. Question, name the Greek philosopher who identified the relationship among the lengths of the sides of a right triangle.
Team 1, Dreyfoos.
Sorry, Pythagoras.
Correct. At this time, the question is printed on the handout. Open the envelope, distribute, and begin.
Team 2, Atlantic.
Espanol 2.
That is correct. In Spanish, the answer was 2. Question. Given that secant theta is greater than 0 and cotangent theta is less than 0, name the quadrant in which angle theta lies.
Team 1, Dreyfoos.
What is quadrant 4?
Quadrant 4 is correct. Question. Question. Who am I? I was born in France in 1862 and devoted my energies to playing the piano and composing from an early age. I struggled financially for a time and even taught a piano lesson on the morning of my wedding to raise funds to pay for the reception. My compositional style eventually gained acceptance, and by the time of my death, I was considered one of the foremost impressionist composers. Perhaps my best-known orchestral works are Prelude to the Afternoon of a Faun, Nocturnes, and La Mer.
Team 1, Dreyfoos.
Who is Claude Debussy?
Debussy is correct. Question. Which one of the following 4 U.S. mountain ranges is geologically the oldest? 1, Appalachian, 2, Rockies, 3, Sierra Nevada.
Team 3, Jupiter.
Appalachians.
4 was Cascades, and the answer was 1, Appalachian. That is correct. That concludes our 5-point question round. We will now begin the 10-point question round. Question. Identify respectively each of the following 4 pairs of words as either synonyms or antonyms. Pair 1, insipid, stimulating. Pair 2, extraneous, essential. Pair 3, jaundiced, prejudiced. Pair 4, abet, impede. Identify respectively each of the following 4 pairs of words as either synonyms or antonyms. Pair 1, insipid, stimulating. Pair 2, extraneous, essential. Pair 3, jaundiced, prejudiced. Pair 4, abet, impede.
Team 3, Jupiter.
Antonym, antonym, synonym, antonym.
That is correct. Again, we remind you, you need to identify if you're answering in French or Spanish. The question is printed on the handout. Now, open the envelope, distribute, and begin.
Team 4, Royal Palm.
French, answers Paris.
Yes? Question. Identify each of the following 3 art terms beginning with the letter E. 1, tool that allows the stable support and display of an artist's canvas. 2, likeness of a deceased person placed on a tomb. 3, object or representation that functions as a symbol, such as a flag.
Team 2, Atlantic.
Easel, effigy, emblem.
That is correct. Question. Which one of the following 4 was not considered a weakness of the U.S. government under the Articles of Confederation? Number 1, Congress lacked the power to levy taxes. Number 2, a system for governing the Western territories was established. Number 3, each state, regardless of population, had equal representation. Number 4, a unanimous vote was required in order to amend.
Team 5, Pahokee.
The first option?
I didn't hear what she said. Oh, it was number 2. The one that was not a weakness was a system for governing the Western Territories was established. The answer was number 2. For this next question, you will need this information. Please listen carefully. A square is changed into a rectangle as follows. One side of the square is quadrupled, while an adjacent side is decreased by 3 meters. Determine, in meters, the length of the longer side of the rectangle, given that its area is 63 square meters larger than the square.
Team 1, Dreyfoos.
28.
28 is correct. Question. Name the Greek philosopher who tutored Alexander the Great.
Team 1, Dreyfoos.
The answer is Aristotle.
Aristotle is correct. Question. In protest of what federal tax did Vice President John C. Calhoun write the South Carolina Exposition? In protest of what federal tax did Vice President John C. Calhoun write the South Carolina Exposition?
Team 3, Jupiter.
Tariff of 1828.
That is correct. Question. Identify the bass note of the tonic 6/4 chord in the key of C major. Identify the bass note of the tonic 6/4 chord in the key of C major.
Team 1, Dreyfoos.
What is G?
G is correct. Question. Compute the definite integral from 0 to 4 of the absolute value of the quantity x minus 2 with respect to x.
Team 3, Jupiter.
4.
4 is correct. The question is printed on the handout. We remind you to identify if you are answering in French or Spanish. Now, open, distribute, and begin.
Team 2, Atlantic.
Espanol 3.
That is correct. Question. What country am I? I have a coastline on both the Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. I am the only Latin American country to have been a democracy since 1950 or earlier. I am ranked 5th in the world and 1st in the Americas in terms of the 2012 Environmental Performance Index. My capital is San Jose.
Team 2, Atlantic.
Costa Rica.
And my name is Spanish for Rich Coast. Costa Rica is correct. Question. This is three-way matching. Three-way matching. Match each of the following 2 positions of Earth to its distance from the sun and its month of occurrence. The positions are 1, aphelion, 2, perihelion. The distances are A, 147 million kilometers, B, 152 million kilometers. The months are Y, January, and Z, July.
Team 3, Jupiter.
Aphelion 152 and January, and perihelion 147 and July.
The months were reversed. The other part was correct. So it should have been 1BZ and 2AY. That is incorrect because the months were reversed. Question. Identify the instrument described by the following 4 features. 4 strings tuned to C, G, D, and A, can be played pizzicato or arco, a regular member of the symphony orchestra, normally written for in the alto clef.
Team 1, Dreyfoos.
What's the viola?
That is correct. The viola is correct. That concludes our question round. At this time, we will begin the 15-point question round. Question: what three-letter word is common to the spelling of the three terms defined by the following? Number 1, allocating medical aid on the basis of need. Number 2, whip-like structure that acts primarily as an organelle of locomotion. 3, a list of matters to be taken up at a meeting. Yes. What three-letter word is common to the spelling?
Team 3, Jupiter High School.
Age.
What was that?
Age.
Age is correct. Match. Match each of the following four precipitates to its color. One color will be used more than once. The precipitates are A, copper 2 oxide, B, silver chloride, C, lead 2 iodide, D, barium sulfate. The colors are 1, yellow, 2, black, 3, white. Match each of the following four precipitates to its color. One color will be used more than once. The precipitates are A, copper 2 oxide, B, silver chloride, C, lead 2 iodide, D, barium sulfate. The colors are 1 yellow, 2 black, 3 white. Match each of the following four precipitates to its color. One color will be used more than once. The precipitates: A, copper 2 oxide, B, silver chloride, C, lead 2 iodide, D, barium sulfate. The colors: 1 yellow, 2 black, 3 white.
Team 2, Atlantic.
A, black, B, white, C, black, D, yellow.
It's incorrect. It's A2, B3, C1, and D3, with white being the one used twice for both B and D. Question: identify respectively the three individuals with surnames beginning with the letter C from the following descriptions. 1, African American chemist and inventor who revolutionized agriculture in the southern United States. 2, renowned composer of piano etudes. 3, 39th U.S. President, known for negotiating the Camp David Accord.
Team 1, Dreyfoos.
What is Carver, Chopin, and Clinton?
That is incorrect. Question: fill in the blank in the following sentence with the word use, or uses. Fill in the blank in the following sentence with either the word use or uses. The sentence is: the open window is one of Saki's stories that blank irony.
Team 2, Atlantic.
Uses.
That is incorrect.
Close.
Question: match. Match each of the following U.S. presidents to the quotation taken from his inaugural address. The U.S. presidents are A, Franklin Roosevelt, B, Harry S. Truman, C, John F. Kennedy, D, Ronald Reagan. The quotations are: 1, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Number 2, government is not the solution to our problem, government is the problem. 3, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Team 2, Atlantic.
A3, B4, C1, D2.
That is correct. Question: identify respectively the three terms beginning with the letter B from the following descriptions. 1, an illegal motion made by a pitcher that may deceive a base runner. Number 2, mathematical expression with two unlike terms. Number 3, an accent or heavy stress in a line of poetry. Identify respectively the three terms beginning with the letter B from the following descriptions. 1, an illegal motion made by a pitcher that may deceive a base runner. Number 2, mathematical expression with two unlike terms. Number 3, an accent or heavy stress in a line.
Team 2, Atlantic.
Balking binomial beat.
Bulk, binomial, and beat. That is correct. Question. State the three-word technological term describing the use of visual rather than purely text-based indicators that can be manipulated by a mouse.
Team 1, Dreyfoos.
Graphical user interface.
Graphical user interface, GUI, that is correct. Please identify which language you are going to use. Now, open, distribute, and begin.
Team 2, Atlantic.
Spanish 3.
That is correct. Question. Match each of the following four musical compositions to its genre. The compositions are A, Don Juan by Richard Strauss, B, The Magic Flute by Mozart, C, Trout Quintet by Schubert, D, Swan Lake by Tchaikovsky. The genres are 1, ballet, 2, chamber music, 3, opera, 4, symphonic poem.
Team 1, Dreyfoos.
A4, B3, C2, D1.
That is correct. Question. Identify the three-letter word common to the spelling of the three items defined by the following. Number 1, to set up or formally institute. 2, graphical representation of a computer user. 3, a U.S. soldier of the lowest rank.
Sorry, Team 2, Atlantic.
Oh, sorry. ATE.
That's incorrect. Question. To the 1,000th place, find the sum of the given sequence. The sum from I equals 0 to 6 of the quotient 1 over I factorial.
Team 3, Jupiter.
2.718.
That is correct, 2.718. Question. Match each of the following four art movements to the artist with which it is associated. The movements are A, Art Nouveau, B, Baroque, C, Cubism, D, Dada. The artists are 1, Rembrandt, 2, Duchamp, 3, Klimt, 4, Picasso.
Team 2, Atlantic.
A3, B1, C4, D2.
That is correct. A3, B1, C4, D2. Question. Which one or ones of the following four U.S. cabinet departments was not present in George Washington's administration? Number 1, State. Number 2, Defense. Number 3, Treasury.
Team 1, Dreyfoos.
2.
Treasury. And number 4, War. The answer is Defense. Number 2, that is correct. Question. Which one or ones of the following four factors may trigger mass wasting? Number 1, anchoring vegetation. Number 2, ground vibrations. Number 3, oversteepened slopes. Number 4, saturated surface. Which one or ones of the following four factors may trigger mass wasting? Number 1, anchoring vegetation. Number 2, ground vibrations. Number 3, oversteepened slopes. Number 4, saturated surface.
Team 2, Atlantic.
2, 3, 4.
That is correct. For this, the question will be printed on the handout. Again, please be certain to identify if you're answering in French or in Spanish. Now, open the envelope, distribute, and begin.
Team 5, Pahokee.
Cierto.
Okay, that is correct. Question. Match each of the following four terms to its description. The terms are A, chromosome, B, centromere, C, sister chromatids, and D, chromatin. The descriptions are 1, combination of DNA and proteins within the nucleus. 2, protein complex that attaches to spindle fibers. 3, separated during anaphase. 4, supercondensed nucleosomes.
Team 3 Jupiter.
A4, B2, C3, D1.
That is correct. A4, B2, C3, D1. Question. Identify the composer of Adagio for strings.
Team 1 Dreyfoos.
Who is Samuel Barber?
That is correct. Question. Identify the Spanish monk who wrote the spiritual exercises.
Team 1 Dreyfoos.
Ignatius of Loyola.
Yes. St. Ignatius Loyola. Yes. That is correct. This concludes our 15-point question round.
Thanks, Yetta and teams. With session 1 now completed after 3 rounds of play in our final day of competition, looks like the A.W. Dreyfoos team wore out the buzzer and took top honors. But we still have to factor in session 2 scores to see who will take the last 2 spots in the district finals. Now let's head to the team leaderboard to see where everyone landed after session 1. In 5th place, it's the team from Pahokee. Taking 4th place, it's Royal Palm Beach High. In 3rd place, it's Jupiter High School. 2nd place goes to the team from Atlantic High School. Leading the pack after session 1, it's the team from A.W. Dreyfoos School of the Arts with a score of 237. Let's check in with some team members from our 2nd place team, Atlantic, to hear how they prepared for today and what it means to them.
Just getting to be with my fellow teammates, because a lot of them I've been with since my freshman year. So it's a lot of fun to just develop relationships with them and compete with them and work together to answer questions.
After this short break, we will talk more about the district finals and the area all-star team here on the Education Network.
We are the Education Network. We are your source for live coverage, bringing you news impacting your students, your schools, and your community. We are covering the district, on campuses, in the classroom, throughout the community. We are on air, online, on mobile. The Education Network, your best choice for school district news. That's who we are.
Welcome back. It is important for each team to do well to make it to the district finals. Only the top 2 scoring teams today will take the final 2 spots in the district finals. This will give us a total of 6 teams in the district final. Top scoring individual students have also been tracked during all of the competition and will determine who will represent the district as part of the area all-star team. Now let's head back over to Studio A for the final session of 3 rounds to see who will be moving on to the district finals with moderator Yetta Green. Yetta?
Thanks, Rick. At this time, we will begin the 5-point question round. Question: who am I? I was born in Berlin on November 1, 1890, and pursued a career in meteorology. In 1915, I published an expanded version of my book, The Origin of Continents and Oceans. My work was one of the first to suggest continental drift.
Team 2 Atlantic.
Wegener.
That is correct, Alfred Wegener. Question: identify the rhetorical term defined as the placement of one idea next to its opposite.
Team 2 Atlantic.
Juxtapositioning.
Next to its opposite to make it more dramatic. Juxtaposition is correct. Question: identify the ancient Greek philosopher who explained the principle of harmony by noting that pitch was determined by the length of a vibrating string and that these vibrations were in fixed mathematical ratios. He also determined that a squared plus b squared equals...
Team 1 Dreyfoos.
Pythagoras.
Equals c squared. Pythagoras, right. Should eliminate the first part, right? Okay. Question, fill in the blank. Blank is the chemical process of purifying a liquid by successive vaporization and condensation.
Team 3, Jupiter.
Distillation.
Distillation is correct. Question, complete the following statement with one of the four given choices. Monetary policy refers to government control of 1. Financial markets, 2. Taxing and spending policies, 3. The money supply and interest.
Team 2, Atlantic.
Money supply.
3. The money supply and interest rates is correct. The fourth choice, another incorrect one, was bonds and deficits. 3 is the correct answer. Question, which one of the following four ascending intervals is perfect? 1. C, B flat. 2. C sharp, G. 3. D, A flat. 4. B flat, F.
Team 1, Dreyfoos.
What is 4?
4 is correct. Question. Jared bought 2 hamburgers and 1 hot dog and paid $7. Kareem bought 2 hamburgers and 3 hot dogs and paid $10. Calculate respectively the price of 1 hamburger and 1 hot dog.
Team 2, Atlantic.
425. You have to say each.
And it asked
each?
respectively the price of each. The hamburger was $2.75 and the hot dog was $1.50. Is that correct? They asked for each one respectively. Yes. Right. Question. Identify the type of paint made from egg yolks used during the medieval and early Renaissance by painters such as Botticelli.
Team 4, Royal Palm.
Tempera?
Was that correct? I couldn't hear
Close
what she
enough.
said. Correct. Tempera. Correct. Question. Who am I? As a literary character in Geoffrey Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales, I tell a tale of 3 rioters who are overcome by greed. Who am I? As a literary character in Geoffrey Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales, I tell a tale of 3 rioters who are overcome by greed. No. The answer is the pardoner, the pardoner. Question, to which U.S. president is the following quotation attributed? The buck stops here.
Team 2, Atlantic.
Dwight Eisenhower.
Incorrect, it's Harry S. Truman. Harry S. Truman. Question, calculate the exact solution for the following exponential equation. 4 raised to the power of 3x minus 1 equals 2 raised to the power of 7x plus 1.
Team 2, Atlantic.
Neg 3. X equals neg 3. Okay.
Negative 3 is the correct answer. Yes, that was correct. Question, which one of the following 4 sentences contains a misused pronoun? Number 1, the musician whom I least admire is Justin Bieber. Number 2, Where Are You Now was performed by Skrillex and Diplo with Bieber and he. 3, do you think that the music critics and we influence songwriters? 4,
Team 2, Atlantic.
2.
That is correct. The poems in this handout will be used for the entire round, so please place them where you can find them easily. You will reference them for each language question. You will need to state the language for which you are giving an answer. All right, this time I will have to read it after you remove it, so go ahead, open the envelope, remove the poems. One sheet is Spanish, 1 sheet is French. The question is, what is the title of the poem on the handout?
Team 5, Pahokee.
Las Mañanitas.
in Spanish. Question. List the 3 types of powers granted in the U.S. Constitution. List the 3 types of powers granted in the U.S. Constitution.
Team 1, Dreyfoos.
What are reserved, delegated, and concurrent?
Yes. Question. To 2 significant digits.
It's a good effort, though.
Listen, to 2 significant digits determine in meters per second the final speed of an object thrown from a height of 75 meters, given that the object's initial velocity is negative 7.5 meters per second. To 2 significant digits determine in meters per second the final speed of an object thrown from a height of 75 meters, given that the object's initial velocity is negative 7.5 meters per second.
Team 3, Jupiter.
39.
39 meters per second is correct. Now, open the envelope, distribute, and begin.
Team 2, Atlantic.
Espanol 1.
That is incorrect. Question. Okay, put those away. Question. If secant x is less than 0 and cotangent x is less than 0, in what quadrant does the terminal side of x lie?
Team 3, Jupiter.
Quadrant 2.
Second quadrant, quadrant 2 is correct. That concludes our 5-point round. At this time, we are ready to begin the 10-point question round. Question. A 739-kilogram smart car travels with an initial velocity of 15 meters per second. The car takes 5.0 seconds to come to rest. To 2 significant digits, determine in newtons the magnitude of the braking force.
Team 1, Dreyfoos.
What is 2,200 newtons?
2,200 newtons is correct. Question. Match. Match each of the following 4 stylistic periods to the artist that worked during it. The periods are A. Romantic, B. Baroque, C. Renaissance, D. Impressionist. The artists are 1. Raphael, 2. Degas, 3. Géricault, 4. Rubens. Match each of the following 4 stylistic periods to the artist that worked during that. The periods are A. Romantic, B. Baroque, C. Renaissance.
Team 1, Dreyfoos.
Romantic, Géricault. Baroque, Rubens. Renaissance, Raphael. Impressionist, Degas.
That is correct. Question. Identify the Greek goddess of the harvest who was responsible for the fertility of the earth.
Team 3, Jupiter.
Demeter.
Demeter is correct, and whose daughter was Persephone. Demeter is the correct answer. Question. What is the product of the roots of the equation 8x squared plus 6x minus 5 equals 0?
Team 2, Atlantic.
Negative 5/8.
Is correct. You need to announce which language you are answering for. The question is printed on the handout. Now, open, distribute, and begin.
Team 5, Pahokee.
Español mañana.
That was correct? Okay, question. What U.S. Supreme Court decision nullified the Missouri Compromise?
Team 3, Jupiter.
Dreyfoos v. Scott.
Dred Scott. Question. To 3 significant digits, calculate in nanometers the wavelength of a photon of light with an energy content of 6.48 times 10 to the negative 19 power joules. To 3 significant digits, calculate in nanometers the wavelength of a photon of light with an energy content of 6.48 times 10 to the negative 19 power joules.
Team 2, Atlantic.
107 nanometers.
That is correct, 307 nanometers. Question, match. Match each of the following 4 composers to his masterwork. The composers are A. Debussy, B. Stravinsky, C. Wagner, and 4. Prokofiev. The masterworks are 1. The Firebird, 2. Der Meistersinger, 3. La Mer, and 4. Peter and the Wolf.
Team 1, Dreyfoos.
The answer is A3, B1, C2, D4.
That is correct. Question. Place the following 4 offices in order of their place in the presidential line of succession. 1. Secretary of State. 2. Speaker of the House. 3. Secretary of the Treasury. 4. President pro tem of the Senate. Place the following 4 offices in order of their place in the presidential line of succession. 1. Secretary of State. 2. Speaker of the House. 3. Secretary of the Treasury. 4. President pro tem of the Senate. Place the following 4 offices in order of their place in the presidential line of succession.
Team 3, Jupiter.
1, the first is 4, the second is 2, the third is 1, and the fourth is 3.
It's incorrect. It should be 2, 4, 1, and 3, not 4, 2. 2, 4, 1, and 2. First one is the Speaker of the House. Match. Match each of the following 4 anatomical terms regarding relative position to its antonym. Match each of the following 4 anatomical terms regarding relative position to its antonym. The terms are A. Deep, B. Distal, C. Inferior, D. Medial. The antonyms are 1. Lateral, 2. Proximal, 3. Superficial, 4. Superior. Match each of the following 4 anatomical terms regarding relative position to its antonym. The terms are A. Deep, B. Distal, C. Inferior, D. Medial. The antonyms are 1. Lateral, 2. Proximal, 3. Superficial, 4. Superior.
Team 5, Pahokee.
A3, B2, C4, D1.
It is. Question. Identify the roots of the 3 primary triads in the key of D minor.
Team 1, Dreyfoos.
What are D, G, and A?
That is correct. The question's printed on the handout. You do need to state whether you're answering for French or Spanish. Now, open the envelope, distribute, and begin.
Team 3, Jupiter.
False.
In which language were you?
Spanish.
It doesn't matter. It's false for both. Question. Assume the blood pressure of adult men is normally distributed with a mean of 124 and a standard deviation of 12. In what interval do approximately 95% of all adult...
Team 2, Atlantic.
100 to 148.
Do all adult male blood pressures fall? 100 to 148 is correct. That concludes our 10-point round. At this time, we will begin our important 15-point question round because remember, at the end of this round, the top 2 teams will be going on to the championship round. Question. For this next question, you will need the following information. At time t equals 0, a world-renowned belly flopper jumps from a diving board that is 32 feet above the water. The position of the belly flopper is given by S of t equals negative 16t squared plus 16t plus 32, where S is measured in feet and t is measured in seconds. This is a two-part question. Part 1, state in seconds the amount of time that has passed when the belly flopper hits the water. Part 2, determine in feet per second the magnitude of the belly flopper's velocity at impact. I knew that was coming. Okay. At time t equals 0, a world-renowned belly flopper jumps from a diving board that is 32 feet above the water. The position of the belly flopper is given by S of t equals negative 16t squared plus 16t plus 32, where S is measured in feet and t is measured in seconds. This is a two-part question. Part 1, state in seconds the amount of time that has passed when the belly flopper hits the water. Part 2, determine in feet per second the magnitude of the belly flopper's velocity at impact.
Team 3, Jupiter.
2 and 48.
That is correct. Match. Match each of the following 4 characters to his beloved. The characters are A. Romeo, B. Petruchio, C. Hamlet, D. Oberon. The beloveds are 1. Rosalind, 2. Ophelia, 3. Kate, 4. Titania. Match each of the following 4 characters to his beloved. The characters are
Team 2, Atlantic.
Okay, Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet and Ophelia, Oberon and Titania, and
Shark and the other one.
And the last 2.
You can't do that?
That's incorrect because Juliet wasn't one of the choices, right? Okay, so we're wrong. It was Romeo, it was A1, B3, C2, and D4. The beloveds were Rosalind, Ophelia, Kate, and Titania. For this next question, you will need the following information. A woman has type A blood, and her husband has type B blood. Their daughter has type O blood. Question, what is the probability that their next child will have type B blood? A woman has type A blood, and her husband has type B blood. Their daughter has type O blood. What is the probability that
Team 3, Jupiter.
0.25.
That is correct, 1/4, or 25, 25%. Question, what one word has the following 3 meanings? 1, bring forth or produce. 2, shading line in drawing or engraving. 3, opening or door in an aircraft. What one word?
Team 2, Atlantic.
Hatch.
Hatch
Nice.
is correct. All 3 of those describe the word hatch. Question, identify respectively the authors who created each of the following 4 literary characters. Number 1, Dr. Jekyll. Number 2, Charles Marlowe. Number 3, Pip. Number 4, Sherlock Holmes.
Team 1, Dreyfoos.
Jekyll, Stevenson, Marlowe, Conrad, Pip, Dickens, and the last one, Sherlock Holmes with Conan Doyle.
That is correct. Question, identify the Roman god who set limits and protected boundary markers.
Team 3, Jupiter.
Janus.
That is incorrect. It is Terminus. Terminus. Question, to the nearest tenth, find the value of the definite integral from 0 to pi of the function f of x equals x minus cosine x.
Team 2, Atlantic.
4.9.
4.9 is correct. Question. Identify the fifth of the supertonic triad in the key of G major.
Team 1, Dreyfoos.
What is E?
E is correct. Okay, again, you need to announce whether you are answering in French or Spanish. The question is printed on the handout. Now, open the envelope, distribute, and begin.
Team 5, Pahokee.
4. That is incorrect. Question. Evaluate the following. Find 1/4 of the sum of the terms from 3 to 5 of the expression k factorial plus k.
Team 2, Atlantic.
40.5.
40.5 is correct. Question. Give the Greek order of architecture that has alternating triglyphs and metopes.
Team 1, Dreyfoos.
Doric.
Doric is correct. Now, open the envelope, distribute, and begin.
Spanish and it's
Team 5, Pahokee.
the answer is in Spanish and it's 3 and cumpleaños.
The answer in Spanish was 3. The answer in French was also 3. That is correct. If you will put your white sheets of paper in your discard pile, keep your green sheets. Question. Write the following polynomial answer in standard form. X to the 4th power plus 7x squared minus 8 all divided by x plus 1.
Team 1, Dreyfoos.
X cubed minus x squared plus 8x minus 8.
That is correct. X cubed minus x squared plus 8x minus 8. Question. Identify respectively the 3 terms beginning with the letter S from the following descriptions. 1. Line that passes through at least 2 points of a curve. 2. Giant ball of gas and plasma that produces vast amounts of energy through nuclear reactions in its core. 3. A speech by a character thinking out loud when alone.
Team 2, Atlantic.
Segment, star, and soliloquy.
Incorrect. Number 1 was secant, not segment. Secant, star, and soliloquy. So that is incorrect. Question. Question. Name the first Norman king of England.
Team 1, Dreyfoos.
William I.
William I or William the Conqueror. Either one is correct. Question. Question. Match. Match each of the following 4 terms to the musical period associated with it. The periods are A. Renaissance, B. Baroque, C. Classical, D. Romantic. The terms are 1. Figured bass, 2. Tone poem, 3. Madrigal, 4. Sonata form. Match each of the following 4 terms to the musical period associated with it. The periods are A. Renaissance, B. Baroque, C. Classical, D. Romantic. The terms are 1. Figured bass, 2. Tone poem, 3. Madrigal, 4. Sonata form.
Team 1, Dreyfoos.
A3, B1, C4, D2.
That is correct. Question. What amendment was added to the Constitution as a result of the election of 1800?
Team 2, Atlantic.
The 12th Amendment.
12th Amendment is correct. And with that, we conclude our 15-point round of questioning.
Thanks, Jetta. Teams battle it out pretty good there in our final session. At stake, the final 2 team spots in the district finals. Let's head to the final team leaderboard to see how they finished. Taking 5th place, it's the team from Royal Palm Beach High School. 4th place goes to the team from Pahokee High. And in 3rd place, Jupiter High. Able to maintain their 2nd place showing from session 1, it's the Eagles team from Atlantic High School. Also maintaining their spot at the top and joining Atlantic in the district finals, the team from A.W. Dreyfoos School of the Arts. Let's hear from the team from Dreyfoos and how they prepared for today and what this means to them.
Just gonna go in and rock it. Because we like to think of ourselves as the best team because we are the best team.
Well, looks like great teamwork and practice got them into the district finals. District champs 2 years ago, and they just missed making the finals last year. Looks like the finals will be full of excitement as the best of the best will battle for 3 rounds in the finals to see who will become district champs. Let's now take a look at those 6 teams that will be competing. From day 1, Suncoast High and John I. Leonard. From day 2, Spanish River and Wellington. And from our final day, A.W. Dreyfoos School of the Arts and Atlantic High School. Congratulations to all the teams that competed this year, and good luck to the teams that are in the finals. Now that we have the teams secured and locked for the finals, let's take a look at the individual student leaderboards to see who has a shot at making the All-Star team. 7 subject areas make up the questions. These exemplary students were able to answer several correct questions in these areas. Some students even dominated in more than one category. We hope you have enjoyed the 31st year of the Palm Beach County Academic Challenge preliminary rounds coverage. Now be sure to join us next time to see who will be crowned as district champs and which individual students will be headed to state competition as part of the Palm Beach County School District All-Star team. We want to take a moment to once again thank Diana Snyder and her team of judges for heading up all the behind-the-scenes work to get the teams together for this year's competition, and to the staff of the Education Network in producing these shows. Special thanks to our moderator, Yetta Green, for reading all of those questions over the 3 days of competition. Be sure to join us next time to determine the district champions. I'm Rick Blackwell, and for all of the schools, judges, coaches, students, and the staff of the Education Network, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.